Now let's go back to the position after bishop d2. As already mentioned, instead of taking on c3 immediately, black could play queen c7, trying to wait and to see whether white takes on f6, and thus reduces its options. The move queen c7 was proposed by Chern in 1983, and then the idea was that after bishop d3, if white continues to follow the same model used by Chaburdanidze after moves d takes c3, bishop takes c3 were included, black simply plays knight c5, and that's something that they can do because the bishop on c3 does not attack e5 pawn, and white cannot create threats in the center. But Shirov took on f6, and this move created a totally new types of the position, which looked at after bishop d takes c3, bishop takes c3, queen c6. White has no options, since moving the queen, trying to avoid an exchange, would lead to even more material losses. But Shirov played queen g3, and I have to mention that out of the 6 games played by grandmasters, 3 times this position happened in Shirov's games. Now we're looking at the game Shirov-Topalov played in Vikanze, but before, Shirov had an experience of playing Van Velle, playing twice on 2, I think, consecutive tournaments. One was in Polanet's Druy, and then was in Istanbul at the Olympiad, and both times Van Velle was crashed. So if queen takes h1, that's one of the options. Now white can continue to play positionally with bishop takes e5, but bishop g2 looks also strong. After bishop h6, the material in this position looks good for black, but because of lack of coordinations of their pieces, we have to prefer white's position. Van Velle took on g2, but after queen takes g2, a5, f4, he was quickly crashed in Istanbul. And let's just remember that was already the second game. The first time Van Velle also lost very quickly. Just for those who'd like to analyze wild complications, I bring their attention back to the 17 bishop takes e5. So bishop h6 check, very natural move, king b1. Now after queen takes h1, there is no bishop g2, but bishop takes e5, already winning. Bishop queen e4, bishop c7, and hard to believe, but black has no decent options. Its king is totally open, and black's position will be devastated within few moves. Probably in the pre-computer age, that would take long debates in the theoretical magazines, but now with computers at our elbow, we can see just in a few minutes, sometimes even in a few seconds, and you don't have to be, a rocket scientist or a very strong 2700 player just to recognize that it's over, thanks to the computers. Bishop f4, it's a very natural move. Again, it's so tempting. The bishop comes from f8, goes to f4, protects pawn on e5, and black even has an option of castling, which in fact Van Velle did after queen d3 at their first game. But after rook g1 check king h8, Shirov played bishop b4, but computer move queen e2, and again you can check these lines, shows that the game would be over quite soon. I would leave many lines for you to analyze, because now with computer help you can do it as well as professional players. Rook g8, That's a better move. That's what Topalov prepared. Bishop h3, but now he made a terrible mistake. King d8, so hoping to bring the king back, but after bishop b4, queen takes f6, queen c4, black lost its momentum. There's still piece up, but no defense because white rook goes on d6, and white continues its attack, and extra piece is playing literally no role. After rook g5, rook d6, f6, you can see that it's all getting pretty nasty for black. So rook g1 check, but now bishop f1, and the game is literally over, because black has nothing to counter white's continuing attack. But let's go back at move 19. Here, if Topalov played b6, I wonder whether Shirov's ability to find unique attacking resources would have helped him, because it's not easy anymore. For instance, if white played rook g1, then simply rook takes g1, rook takes g1, bishop b7, rook g8 check, and knight f8, bishop b4, bishop h6. Or if white plays bishop b4, then after bishop b7, it's still not clear whether the attack is sufficient for an extra piece. Now you could see that the moment black finishes its development, and this is the key problem, is bishop on c8, then white may really face trouble, because they sacrificed a piece at the end of the day. Again, we saw the same result. Black lost because at the crucial moment of the game they missed a move, they missed an idea, defensive idea, that could have changed dramatically the outcome of the game. And now, after this game, and after move b6 was discovered, white has to look for some improvements, but we didn't see much of the debate on this direction. It seems that black eventually, even by losing the game, found a pretty good way of countering white's offensive. Now we should look for other options for white, since bishop d2 didn't work as was planned. Also, Shirov had no reasons to complain. 3 beautiful wins, 2 against Vandveli, 1 against Topalov. That's probably a pretty good result for the line, which, as we could see, is not fully correct. Now we move to another move at position after d5. White can continue to play in the best traditions of the King's Gambit. So g takes f6, d4, and bishop c4. That's next development.